I saw a video here recently, and once again, I'm amazed, for lack of a better term or expression, that martial artist and actor Michael Jai White again has made a statement that Bruce Lee was not a fighter. He actually said it this time in another installment of VLAD TV with Michael Jai White and VLAD. Michael Jai White was asked questions about Bruce Lee as a fighter, and Michael Jai White said, hands down, he's the greatest martial artist of all time, but there's a difference. Those were his words. He said there's a difference in a martial artist and being a fighter, and compared Bruce Lee to Benny the Jet, who he said Benny the Jet was a fighter, and he mentioned Bill Wallace and other martial arts practitioners, masters, and he said today, in today's time, if Bruce Lee fought someone his size who was an MMA fighter or a professional fighter, Bruce Lee would basically lose. He said because what he does is different. What Bruce Lee does, that is. And then he was asked a question about Jackie Chan. Could Jackie Chan stand up to Bruce Lee? And then again, Michael Jai White said he believed because of Jackie being bigger, muscular, much bigger frame than Bruce Lee, that Jackie would win. That's a bitter pill to swallow if you believe that, to someone who knows different. He still contends that Bruce Lee, being a smaller person, studying the traditional martial arts that he did, that separates Bruce Lee from real fighters. That's what he's saying in essence. Now, if you were to ask Jackie Chan or even Jet Li about Bruce Lee, both have the greatest respect and humility when you talk about Bruce Lee, because Jet Li said Bruce Lee was his senior. He said that Bruce Lee was great. And Jackie Chan said the same thing in so many words. Never would they put Bruce Lee down, because they knew who Bruce Lee was and what Bruce Lee was as it relates to being a great fighter / martial artist. I think one of the things that throws people off, and I've heard someone hint at this or allude to this, was that the word art is at the end of martial, and that's the separation of martial arts and real fighting. I don't know who created that, but it doesn't make sense. The word martial means war. War, art. That's what it is. If you are indeed practicing martial science. Note that I said science. The art of fighting. Real fighting, which is what Bruce Lee did. Bruce Lee never competed in sports events because he separated himself, because he wanted to learn what was practical for actual fighting, especially street fighting. And for these people to continue to try to degrade this man, this icon, this legend in martial arts. Bruce Lee is far more the legend than most that we're aware of and have become used to over the past 30, 40 years. He's more of the legend, and not simply because of pop culture during the time or the era that he came up. He's well worth his weight, no pun intended. But Bruce Lee is the GOAT. He was the GOAT then, and by all comparisons, when you look at what he's done since he was like maybe 50 years or 100 years beyond his time in terms of martial science is concerned, this man lived and breathed this. This is what he did. This was his life, martial arts. And to keep saying, especially these modern day guys like Michael Jai White. I have a lot of respect for the brother. That even he was saying that he could have still beat Bruce Lee. You know, I've heard people say, well, Michael Jai White has black belts in 4 or 5 arts. He's not the only one. And what the heck does that mean? It's cool that you do. He has accolades from a lot of places, and he's a very good actor, and he's a very good martial artist. I will say that. I don't want to come on here and beat down anyone, but when you make statements, in my estimation, that are erroneous, statements that are not based on real facts, and what facts do I have that Bruce Lee was great? Let the world speak. It's really that simple. Let the world speak. The world has spoken, and we already know what the conclusion was and is. Let's take Bruce Lee, and we sit him right here. We all know that he's been in thousands of publications during the time he was living, and 50 years later still. He's been mentioned in many commercials, many videos, many movies. He has books that was published. Is what I'm trying to say. Many books that have been published about him, his personal life, his philosophies, and so forth. Name another martial arts figure that has that much credibility, that has that much attention paid to them, especially any that's passed away on a worldwide stage. Who else? Could this possibly just be a mistake? I don't think so. And anyone with any good sense would know the same. The world doesn't make a mistake like that. How do you keep it going? You don't. I know Shannon Lee can't keep it going like that just by herself, and she doesn't. She contributes to his legacy, but the world still remembers who the greatest martial artist of our time was during late 60s, early 70s, before his untimely death, and who still is, according to most, undisputable. Anyway, Master White says that Bruce Lee was just a martial artist and not a real fighter. I mean, he just point blank said that. And I already did a video about a year or two ago when he made this same statement, and then he came back to try to apologize for him saying that Bruce Lee was not who he was. And you come back again later on in another interview and make a comparison to Bruce Lee and MMA fighters, or Bruce Lee and professional fighters. We know that Bruce Lee lived in a different era. We understand that. If Bruce Lee had still been living today, he'd be the same person he was. He would still be more than likely the greatest martial artist of our time. And all of these guys are really catching up to what he's already laid the foundation for, honestly. Now, I know there are many out there who are going to put in their 2 cents. They're going to give their viewpoint based on this video and what I'm saying. Have at it. Just be respectful and be courteous when you come on my channel, or else I'm going to delete you. And that's going to be it. So if we cannot reason with one another, what else do we have? I'm talking to you. I'm always polite. I'm always courteous. I speak what I believe to be the truth, what I see to be the truth, based on my experience and based on what I have done for 2/3 of my life in more than one martial art. So let me know what you think. Again, even though this is redundant, do you think Michael Jai White is correct that Bruce Lee could not stand toe-to-toe with today's professional fighters and MMA, so-called MMA fighters? Let me know what you think. I'll leave the link below to that interview. Take care.